garbage. No way. Ooh, this guy thinks he's Captain Knots. Thinks he's Captain Tying Knots. When everyone needs some knots tied, they go to him.
Rock and roll is very simple. Just 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is rock and roll. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Välkommen till livestreamen.
Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. So, good to be here today. I'm looking forward to this. This is a 1, 2, 3. I just saw your question, so I'm going to incorporate that into what we're doing today. So the plan is, I've had a lot of people asking questions about like application of certain techniques and things like that, and I just want to kind of show. I had some people actually email me. Wanting like getting feedback on not my students, just people that had watched, giving some feedback on things that they could work on to help them break out of essentially their comfort zone, you know, make them more comfortable with other things. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make like a bunch of little backing tracks, and I'm going to show how I would practice like applying these things. And so 1, 2, 3, you asked about harmonic minor. We can go ahead and we'll use harmonic minor as like our framework for this backing track, and then I can kind of show how I would do this, because most of the time it's like what ends up happening to people is that, you know, you get in your comfort zone and you do what you gravitate towards what is easy or comfortable for you, right? And we want to be able to be in more control, and just whatever your idea is up in your head, you want to be able to get that out and be able to have a better connection between your fingers and your brain, that sort of thing. So before we do get started, be sure to check out the sponsors. If you need any cables, you can use the code Zack10 at limitlesscables.com. You get 10% off. Check out the Swiss picks. They are fantastic. I've been loving them more and more. I'm probably going to have to get in touch with them soon because my students are stealing them all. Resistance HQ Publishing. They will be responsible for doing the physical published version of the tab book for my solo album, which, by the way, drummer, a little update on that. Drummer smashed his hand with a hammer, so there's been a little delay. So that stuff's getting taken care of. So they have some cool stuff. Of course, there's Dissonant Harmony Podcast, Huntley Guitar Lessons, ZackRoller.com, all that stuff. And feel free to donate to ASAN and get a free lesson. So the idea for today is we're gonna make a backing track, and what we're gonna do with that backing track is create a little practice routine to try new things. So what we want to do is, first of all, let me do this. I'm just gonna steal this drum beat that we were using from a previous example. So a little 6/4 thing. All right, so 1, 2, 3. The harmonic minor. I think people kind of overcomplicate it, and it's really it's not that bad. So if you are familiar, I don't know if you are or not, but are you familiar with like the construction of a normal scale? Just to go over this real quick, when you play a minor scale, let's say, let me start on like A, okay? So we would have the notes A through G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and another A, right? So then if we have harmonic minor, it's very similar. The only difference is the 7th note is 1/2 step higher. It's raised. It turns it into a leading tone. So if you think about the major scale, right? If I play that 7th note, it's gonna bug the shit out of you until I finish it. Like come on, finish. Right? So what harmonic minor does is it grabs that leading tone and puts it into the minor, so you can have a stronger resolution at the end. Like for example, I'll play this would be a chord progression. Here, let me switch to a better tone for this one. So if I went. So right there, just minor, a 1, 4, 5 in minor. If I were to put that leading tone in there, the chord would end up being impacted, and we would have. Right? So that's a lot stronger of a resolution. Okay? So, that sharp 7, it will impact all the chords. But the thing, kind of going off your question, this is where I think it sounds like you're getting a little confused. Harmonic minor is not going to be like a key signature. Okay? So, the way that harmonic minor is used is, it's almost like an alteration. I mean, it is an alteration, but it's almost just like a slight change in the key that can be used on and off. Okay, so you can go back and forth between the 7th and the sharp 7. If you're playing exclusively in harmonic minor, and you have that, it's going to be continually in that sound. What tends to be a little bit more common, I feel like, at least in like progressive rock and metal and stuff, the stuff that I tend to gravitate towards, it tends to be like the minor key. And then, like, if you were looking at sheet music, anytime that sharp 7 happens, it would just notate it with, like, an accidental. Okay, so I'll say sharp, the G sharp, that sort of thing. So it started as a way of, like, getting stronger resolutions, then it kind of just evolved into its own little tonality. And so tonality is an important thing to understand. And tonality, like, a tonal center is what feels like home. So if you are playing in the key of A minor, that A would be your... A minor could be the tonality, but you could also focus on some of the other ones. You could be in the key of A minor, but focusing on a different note than A. You can kind of almost visualize it like, I like the analogy of your house. So you're in your house, that's your key as a whole. The house, the roof is over everything, right? You have different rooms in your house that I'm hoping serve a different function than the other ones, right? So hopefully you're cooking in your kitchen and not like taking a shit in your living room or something like that, right? Like that's like the modes, and the modes are just like underneath the same framework but a different focus. And really, a lot of times that just means what you're starting on. Okay, so the tonal center thing's important because that's where we are going to pull back to and go back to resolve our ideas. Okay, so let me see what the sound is actually real quick. That'll work. Just a little synth, and I'm going to program something out real quick so you can see this better. So let me move over to this. Okay. So if we are in, like I said, it's just one note that changes. So we're going to make, do you guys care about what key we're in? Do you want to do like, let me know if you do. I can change the key. We can keep it at A just to keep it simple, but it doesn't really matter. And one other little side note real quick that I've been seeing a lot of for whatever reason recently is the key is not dictated by we'll stick with A. Your key is not determined by your tuning, right? You can play in any key, in any tuning. So don't let that like become something that like starts throwing you off or whatever, okay? So what I'm going to do here is we're going to program some chords. So let's go from A minor. What's the other? We're going to make this longer so we have more time to kind of focus on it. So, like I said, the goal of this is going to be showing you more lead concepts that you can apply and how to break out of your comfort zone. So what we'll do with this is we'll make this, and if you're making your own, do the same. But you want to make your progression like something where it doesn't make you feel pressured, and something that you can actually like dedicate energy to figuring things out. Okay? So like if we're switching chords really quickly and you're constantly like in a panic mode, it's not going to be super helpful, right? So let's see. We want to go. So if we go from, let's figure out what chord you want, and I'm going to show 2 different ways that harmonic minor tends to be used. Okay, so we're going to make we're going to double this up. So the first way that harmonic minor could be used is you just, you know what, actually, and for our backing track, I'm not going to do that. We're going to, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, changing my mind. I'll just show you both. In harmonic minor, you tend to either stay completely in it or like kind of modulate to it, if you want to call it that. So like with that progression I gave as the example, I'll go back to this real quick. If you're playing 1, 4, 5, right? I could just switch immediately and just go. But it might be cooler to start in natural minor. So that kind of leads you in more, right? So you get the minor, harmonic minor, a little bit extra tension. And there. So if we were doing, I kind of like the sound of that, so let's put that at the end. And this brings up a good point too, just a little side note. A lot of times you don't want to write your chord progression in order. It can be great to do it backwards because then you can get the exact function that you need, right? So at the end here, when we have, let's put a low one too. Okay, so at the end, we've got our A minor chord at the beginning, and what I'm doing here is there's going to be one measure of E minor and one of G. So at the very end here, holds you back really nicely, right? So we have that. We can do any other chords in here. So let's see. We could go A minor, C, G. I don't like that one. Let's go A minor. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go from an A minor chord to D minor. Jeez. And then we're going to go to a C. And then to the E. There's no right or wrong with this shit. It's just, you know, what's going to fit what you need to fit, like, the situation, right? So let's get this D in there, and then I'll tighten up this voice leading in a, because that's a big jump. I don't want that. Actually, let's move this all up. Actually, so now we have. Ooh, that's actually really cool, but the wrong chord. So what I'm just making it sound pretty smooth, you know, nothing too crazy here. Maybe I want to move. So just to show you this motion real quick, and I'll switch over to that other view so you can see that better. If you look at the high note, it goes down, then up, and then down. So down, up, down. The middle note goes down, up, up. The lower second note goes down and then up and stays there. The bottom goes up, down, up. So they're doing a lot of opposite motions, which just makes it kind of cool, you know, having a. So let's take that. I think that's a good start. Let's do that. And while I'm at it, I might as well just add the bass in here. Alright, so let's go low. I don't know if that's the right rhythm. I like that rhythm for this. That'll work. Should we go to drop E? Just kidding. Yeah, so fucking low. But I want to make this backing track sound cool, so I don't want to just like BS something together. Just for the sake of it. Let me think. Let's see. So we're gonna go. I don't like that high note. No bueno. Oh, that would have been awesome if I hit the record button. Dummy. All right, let's 2, 3, 4. Nice. Give it a little bit. You know what I'll do is I will make this backing track available for the Twitch followers for now. Eventually that shit will be like, there's gonna be some stuff coming up like courses and things that'll be included in for sure. But for right now, Any of you guys want it, just let me know at the end. One thing I should mention too is as you're going around with this, because I mean technically, if you analyze your chords, so this is one thing, the first point I guess I should bring up for starting to solo over this stuff, right? And get your leads and everything. When you understand the chords that are the harmony, you can have complete control over what you do phrasing wise. The notes that sound like punctuation and sound like you completed your thought and stuff, those are the notes that are part of the chord, like where you would resolve and give yourself an ending to your phrase. The notes that are part of the key, but not in that particular chord, are going to be used more as like transitional kind of elements or a way of creating tension, that sort of thing. So right here in this backing track, let me just loop the I'll loop the spot with the drums so it's easier to kind of know where you are. I could play like going over our chords. So again, we have A minor, D minor, C, and E minor, then E. You could do, so the A minor chord could be harmonic minor or minor. The D minor chord could be both. The C chord could not. That would have to be a natural minor because that G sharp note is not in there. We have a G. So for the only so for the first two chords and the very last one, you could do harmonic minor on the or minor for that matter, except for the last one, obviously. Let me just restart. Let me say that in a better way. We'll go in order. First chord, you could do either natural minor or harmonic minor. Same thing for the second one, you could do either. For the third chord, so the C chord, and for the E minor part, you could only play natural minor, and then harmonic minor is for just for the last one again. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know. Where are you? Cool. Yeah, let me know if you guys have questions on that. I'll give you a demo. So like for these first two chords only. Here's natural minor. Now here's harmonic minor. Able to put some variations in there. Let me take this. I'm gonna change the beat up a little bit for this part. And let's just go to straight. Is that what I want? Yeah, that'll be good. All right, so Okay, so how do I do I like? How about? That sound will sound better. All right. All right, take this, that, boom. Well, that wasn't right. There we go. Now let's take a little. So it's basically just gonna be this chord progression. We'll loop it. You know what I was just thinking? I'll put it on. I will throw this up on YouTube for you guys, so it's easier. Alrighty. Cool. Excuse me. get the little chink. Oh, chick. Probably shouldn't combine those words. Oh my gosh, I'll click the right button eventually. Oops. God damn it. Hit the right fucking note. That is a horrible, horrible, horrible fill. If I like that or not, but we'll leave that for now. Let's just get one of these in here. Okay, so that's cool. So we've got this then. How long is this? 3? Yeah. We don't need to make this like a full fucking song or anything. But let's just make it so it's something enjoyable for us to solo over, right? Put this. Ah! Don't do that. I'll take this guy. Let's... this. Is this the stereo one? Does it? Yeah, okay. So I think I'm actually going to retrack the other layer. So we're going to have the clean layer. What are you doing, buddy? Alright, so let's get this tracked. Nope. Wouldn't be me if I didn't forget the part, right? Or not play it right. God damn it, play the fucking C chord. Forgot my chord again. Let's just do that. Where's the E minor and E? Fucking fingers don't fit. Just can't get this one stupid chord apparently. We're good. Don't. Okay, so this should be a pretty cool little track for us. Let's move this guy. So we got that part. It's gonna do there. Right here, we just need to hit that first chord. Alright, that'll do. And then at the very end, let's copy this guy. And then we just need to hit this guy. stupid little thing at the end. Why not? All right, so yeah, I'm going above and beyond what is actually needed for this exercise, but since I wasn't planning on making this available at first, but now I'm going to. So I will let's just do a quick humanization. Toms and shit. Logical. Nope, that's totally the wrong thing. What am I looking for? MIDI. And then dun, 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 dun. Oh, man, I think I need to get glasses or something. I can't see very well. Get new ones, I mean. Wait, is it the standard set one? So you want to go between, I'm guessing, 100 110. What is this? That's a hi-hat. So we want to grab those. All of our cymbals we'll set at 100 to 105. Something just a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm not really doing too crazy with this, but just something so it's a little bit better. So let's just go over, do a little improv thing. So the big thing that that you're gonna want to make sure you're focusing on is giving yourself restrictions that force you to think differently. I just used the example with the guy that I was emailing, that one of the guys that had asked the questions. And like for me, I had when I first learned how to sweep pick, that was like how I started everything, and it got really, really fucking lame. You know, so my restriction was just to not do that. I feel like a lot of people get stuck in like little boxes, like maybe the first pentatonic shape or something. If that's the case, go ahead and maybe restrict yourself to only using one string, so you force yourself to go all over the place, kind of thing. So I'm just gonna call out the restriction example and kind of show you what I mean. So let's start with one string only. Oops, see, I cheated. So see, that brings up a good point. I cheated in that same note twice, right? So that note that I'm hitting, that, like, I know that's there from phrasing and doing a bunch of other stuff, right? That would be something that I would probably try and avoid then, because I'm immediately going to something that's easy, right? So as you do that, you could just completely ignore that note, really force yourself to stick to the restriction, right? You're gonna want to cheat. Especially when you play the wrong notes. You can get it's hard to keep it interesting, right? So maybe I would end up doing some more slides or something like that, where you start incorporating different techniques to branch out, right? Restrictions are awesome. One restriction, another one that is a little less obvious, that's very good. So I'll explain the problem first. So the problem is, and I was in this category, where I would play. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. I had kind of two problems, I guess. Part of it was like a musical ADD, where I just kind of had cool ideas but went all over the place. And then I also had trouble with almost like, if you want to think of it as a run-on sentence, phrasing-wise. So I'd just keep going and going and going, and nothing really came in and unified it, right? So the restriction I ended up doing was I would focus on my breathing, and when I was inhaling, I would not let myself play anything. Or if I was playing something, I would just have to hold one note. And then when I'm exhaling, I could play. So it forced me to think kind of more like a singer or a horn player or something. Just because I was thinking more about that punctuation, as I keep referring to it as. So I think at first, I should have said this too. When you go for it, just do that. Just go for it. What does Jen want? So when you have, at first, I should say, don't put the restrictions on yourself. Give it a go, and maybe film yourself. When you're improvising, it's hard to focus on everything, right? Like, you have to pay attention to what you're playing, hitting the right notes, making sure rhythms are good, and you're not, muting things improperly and blah, 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 blah. That's hard to do that and focus on how your phrasing is at first. So what you want to try and do is film it, review it later, and make notes, right? Take note of what's good, what's bad. You can avoid the bad stuff if that was the case. And the good lets you maybe figure out how to develop your ideas more. A lot of times people have that musical ADD thing where it's cool idea, and it never gives the listener a chance to actually grab onto it, So, you just put it on and go for it. Right there, I had kind of a melody, idea. So what I would probably end up doing then is just looping this little, I mean, it doesn't really have to be looped in this situation because it's the same thing, but loop that idea and try and develop it. So I like the idea of, like, say, bending to the third first. So if we go bend to the C. So if I were, like, developing this, right, like that little bend is my idea. I'm going to keep going back to that, and I'm going to put little variations in there. So right there, for example, if in my head I was thinking of sweep picking, I would just put the backing track on and try and do the sweep picking for the whole thing. You know, finding those chord tones and everything. Because like we were talking about at the beginning, the notes that are in the chord are the ones that are going to sound resolved. And so if we hit, like at the beginning there, if I hit an A, C, or E, it's good, right? So right here, if I hit, let's say, the E. Hit the F of the D minor, the E of the C chord, the B of the E, G sharp of the E. I think I said the wrong thing there. It was the B note of the E. That's probably a little hard to comprehend when I talked over it. So if we have, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna bump these up again. Kind of forgot about the keyboard sound too, so let's mute that for a minute. Dude, that is driving me a little bonkers. That little grab all of these. And then let's just go to let's get this mixed a little bit more then. Make it sound extra good for you guys. Let's do I don't know which one I want. This thing sounds kind of good. Let's okay, so we're gonna do multi-out. Bum, 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 bum. Which one is this? Contact B. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's need to activate outputs. Actually, let's do. I don't need to go too crazy with this right now. What I'm going to do is the outputs. I think multi-out advanced gives you way more control. Let me take a look real quick. Because it's like, let's see, the toms. Yeah, the toms are all independent, right? So then if I were to go to multi-out, they're not. They're group more. So we have up to 10. All right, let's activate those then. I'm gonna move this over to my other screen so I can kind of. Oh shit! I can't see shit on that one. This fucking plugin is so huge. All right, so let's go to this. that's the kind of thing that might have been a more straightforward way of setting it up, but I don't think I'm going to do it. So, our drum master, let's get rid of this stupid EQ. And let's get these all sent to that. Drums. There's got to be a faster way of doing that. separate these guitars. I was just trying to put them all on. So these. You're going to guitars. You are going to. Oop, not that. G. multi-band on this. We don't. Don't wait. Maybe I'll use that one. We don't need that one. Probably don't need this one. That, but let me make some adjustments. All this whole mix is like kind of stupid loud right now anyway. So if we bring, let's do this. We're gonna bring these way down. Actually, I need to change my lead tone anyway, because that one has too much effects and stuff. I want something that's a little bit more like the one we've used the last couple ones. Simple. Okay. So Steve, what kind of music are you up to? What's like, what are some of the things you're working on recently? All right, so we've got this. This is loud. I totally get what you're saying about classical stuff, man. I remember in college when I was my music theory teacher got super pissed at me because I was talking shit about some of that stuff. It's like it didn't have what I needed, you know. Oh, that sounds sweet. That sounds really fun. I love, I think, yeah, I think there's so many good things to take from, you know, other styles and everything like that. Yeah, arrangements like that, like, you know, doing the choir stuff for, all the voice leading and everything's just so good. I love it. A little bit better. Better. The bass is probably a little crazy. So let's get some. What am I around here? See the settings over here. A bit of taste. I'm glad there's a little bit of taste in there. I just did. So I started working with there's a couple new sponsors. So I got Limitless Cables and then the Swiss Picks thing, where they look like little pieces of cheese. And so I wrote a song for them called Limitless Cheddar, and that's been the verdict so far. That it was it turned out pretty good for being a shreddy kind of thing, you know. I mean, regardless of what you're playing, I always think there needs to be some sort of balance and make sure it's appropriate, right? So. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Like when I was younger, for sure, I would just play fast for the sake of playing fast, or, you know, that kind of thing. And it really wasn't a smart move. Oh man, I could go on for hours and hours about chord progressions. That's like my favorite thing, right? Like this one just was a little example to explain what harmonic minor was to someone, but yeah, I could dork out on that stuff forever. I'm in the same category as you know. Chromaticism's awesome. Anything with like non-chord tones and like actually with this is a little. We were talking about restrictions for soloing. One thing I thought was really cool to get like a unique sound was actually bending from notes purposely that are not in the key. So like in the key of A minor, right? If I went A, B, C, I could hit that B flat note and get a really interesting bend in there. So let's see. So if I did that, let me go to where the drums are for the rhythm. It's really cool to add some of that. Really interesting resolutions, right? And but yeah, with chords, I think that, you know, honestly, I think the coolest thing for me about chords when you're partnering it with what we were talking about at the very more at the beginning. Mom, you can't hear my mic? Oh, now you can. Okay, huh? I don't know. Maybe I've been Twitch has been kind of a jerk to these to me lately. With probably because I'm just a little streamer, you know. But I appreciate you letting me know. We'll I'll see if there's something I can do better. But let me, since now you can hear, just to make sure you caught that, the like rearranging the chords is huge, and being able to manipulate it to make it something different, you know. So if we had, I was using the C major 7 and rearranging that to get more of a, you know, different type of thing with it. I love playing around with extensions. So like rather than, this chord progression is pretty straightforward, right? It's just you know, A minor, D minor, C, E minor, E. So if we were to take those, and like the way I was playing it is here, A minor, I added the 9th. Same thing there, made it D minor 9. C. So there's a lot of really cool things with that. And I don't know, I can go on and on and on about all that. I love it. But going into the lead situation with for this, when you have those, the notes that are in the chord are the ones that are going to put that punctuation in your phrase. And so if you are like giving yourself a restriction, so maybe my restriction, and it could be multiple, you know, to force myself to think differently. So maybe I'm only allowing myself to solo on one string, because maybe I'm one of the guys that gets kind of stuck in a box, right? So I'm only going to solo on one string. I have to end on chord tones, so it sounds good. But what I'm going to do is I could pick specific ones, and I could partner that like non-chord tone thing with that. So we could have like, you know, I'm going to bend to the C. So like we were in that first phrase. Hit the F, 'cause that's part of that chord. And then like in this the harmonic minor, drawing attention to those notes that make it different. You have some weird kind of stuff in there. But I love that. I find that, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Blotted Science and Ron Jarzambek, but unless you're doing that really wild atonal oscillation cycle kind of stuff, I feel like chromaticism works best, at least on a guitar, when you incorporate it into, like, not just a straight chromatic scale, but like if you were doing the pentatonic scale, kind of like the Blue Note does. Just, add that stuff in. Gives it more of a framework. Don't hit that note, though. It's definitely sounding way better now that we've tweaked it a bit. Let's see. He is snoring. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog snoring, but it cracks me up. All right. So, let me take this. Oops. Took out a little too much low end. It happens. Ooh, I almost want to do like that Paul Wardingham, like I was working This is one actually I meant to say earlier. Another good restriction for people is when you're, like, if you're learning a new scale shape and trying to get more comfortable with it and trying, like I was talking about earlier with the guy, it's a really good idea to practice it in an improv situation. The thing that improvising does for you is it forces you to trains yourself to be good at problem solving in that moment, so correcting a mistake or being able to think at the same time as playing. And as far as memorizing shapes and stuff goes, that's a really good way of just putting on a backing track, use one shape, and just get comfortable with it. Breaking out, doing, a lot of times when people are trying to make it more interesting, it's because they're playing a lot of stuff in order, right? So doing a lot of, like... It sounds cool when you balance that out with, like, moving around with it. If you go totally random with it, obviously it'll sound kind of chaotic. But yeah, take that shape, isolate it, just work on that. Work on switching between them. If you're new to it, you could do like 30 seconds per scale shape, or try and force yourself to apply certain techniques. So for me, the tapping thing, like I was doing for the Paul Wardingham stuff, that's definitely a weaker area for me because I tend to be more of like a sweepy kind of guy. That sort of thing. So, maybe I would do, maybe I want to work on my muting, so my restriction is just going to be tapping everything. want to do this. I don't think so. Do I want to start actually with that, or? Yeah, I write, actually most of what I do now is songwriting. So, I mean, I have this music school, but I, like half of my job, I guess you'd say, is being a session player. So I write my own stuff. So most of what my streams have been writing my solo album, which is kind of like instrumental progressive rock stuff. We did the song that I released, that Limitless Cheddar one. Here, I'll put the link in the, let me pull up the link. I'll throw it in there so you can kind of check it out. This was something I just wrote for the sponsor. But I do a lot of songwriting for like other singers and other singers. I'm not really a singer. I do a lot of stuff for singers or video games or, you know, whatever. Yeah, songwriting is huge. And I agree with what you said. As I've gotten older, it's gotten more and more. There's that link if you wanted it. As I've gotten older, it's become more about the final product and less about like the you know, the physical aspect of it, and more it's just it's been interesting to see how things change. But the production side of things and songwriting is so important, right? And there's so, I mean, important for most people, I should say. And yeah, I was unbalanced for sure for a while, right? So when I was younger, like I was saying, I was trying to play faster, I was trying to do all this stuff, and it really I didn't practice my songwriting, so it was like way down here. So I had to balance it out. But I absolutely love songwriting. I could literally do it for forever. So yeah, so right now it's a little bit, we're doing something a little bit different. But we're going to be getting back to, so I recorded all of the guitars. Might as well give an update. All the guitars are recorded except for the solos, because we're going to have, yeah, absolutely, post a link. Absolutely. I would love to check it out. Yeah, so the drummer, he was starting to record, smashed his hand with a hammer doing a project at his house or whatever. And so he's almost fully recovered and going to start tracking again. But there's 9 songs with drums, and then there are 10 songs total. One like percussive acoustic song, and then the rest is kind of prog rock stuff. And then, yeah, so that's being tracked. And I'm going to get that back. We're going to start jumping back into it where I'm doing the solos. I think on the next couple streams, it's going to end up being working on the tribute song for Bill Conklin, what we've been doing since he unfortunately passed away. And if you're not familiar, Bill Conklin is the guy that built this awesome guitar for me. So he was one of the first guys to do this like crazy fan fret stuff. Yeah, it's here. Oh, cool. Let me grab that. Very cool. So yeah, anyone that's checking this out later or whenever, feel free to check that out too. I'll, you know, we're gonna be doing some streams with like listening to other people's stuff, but I'm gonna check that out as soon as I'm done here. I got like just a couple minutes left before I have to get ready for one of my students showing up. So I'll be sure to check it out. Absolutely. So then, who are some of Steve? Who are some of your favorites, like guitar-wise or just composer-wise? I'm always interested in that. All right, just gonna let's get this going. Oh my God, yeah, Eric Whittiger's awesome, right? When I was, this is a long time ago, but years ago, this is right when he had like released that, it might have been even the song that got him really popular, Sleep. When they did that, I played guitar did a guitar arrangement for it with the choir, and it was like a cool harmony. I had a ton of fun with that. Yeah, I've always wanted to pick that guy's brain. Eric Whittiger, and then there's a guy, Alex Pfeiffer, Pfeffer, who works with Hans Zimmer now. They've done some stuff together, I think, and then there's a few of them, but I've always wanted to like pick their brain since I do so little with actual vocals. You know, I sing backup sometimes and stuff, but for my own music, I like instrumental stuff. So it's always it's interesting. Like when we were talking with Paul Wardingham on the podcast, he actually like writes an entire screenplay for his music, even though it's like in a way, and writes the lyrics and all that stuff. You know, and it's hey, yeah, that's cool. Maybe we should partner up then sometime, right? We can do the music, and you can figure out all the vocal stuff. It's yeah, it's funny how that works out, right? It's fun for me. Like I work for Robert Lunty sometimes, where he owns the Vocalist Studio and real big vocal coach. And so I write music for him to be able to sing over and use for some of his products and whatever he wants, like little EPs and stuff. It's always interesting to me to. I got, for a while, I was so in my own world, just doing, you know, people would hire me individually or whatever, and it's cool to work around and yeah, get some like with this solo album I'm doing, I'm letting the drummer and the bass player, they're doing their thing. I'm kind of stepping back, letting them have room to breathe, be creative, and it's awesome. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, just it's funny, like it's so unpredictable on here, and especially for a little guy like me, right? I'm the like I've been working in music for years full time, but I don't like social media, and I don't like all that stuff. So I'm finally getting my ass in gear and starting this stuff. You know, I had started with people wanting to see like my workflow when I was doing my album, and it's been awesome. That's cool. I'm before I forget. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. I'll have to check out one of your streams sometime. I just gave you a follow. It's really cool, isn't it, though? It's the cool thing for me about this. I think the thing I've had the most fun with is like meeting new people, right? That's always cool. But it's been really cool to like reconnect with people, like people I taught 15 years ago that are, you know, from a different country, and they get to come and chat now. And yeah, it's so cool just to have the conversation. It's been, you know, at first I thought it was going to be a little intimidating, right? Because writing and recording music in general can be kind of high pressure, right? So when I'm, you know, doing this and then doing it live, and you know, it's been good for me though, because it makes me just kind of let go. And if I mess up, I mess up, and who cares? And you know, just go for it, have fun. That's the whole point of music, right? But yeah, it's been really interesting coming on here, just as something I hadn't done before. So on your stream then, Steve, are you are you doing mostly songwriting and stuff then, and like the production? Shit. interesting. Ton of duplicate notes. It's kind of cool. What do you mean by non-traditional spirituality? If you don't mind me asking. Is it just that's probably a really hard thing to type out an explanation for. Sounds cool. Just curious what that means for you. Like, are you saying like not in the like structure of like an organized religion kind of thing? Oh, interesting. I hear what you're saying. That's a really interesting I don't know what the right word is right now. Interesting observation, interesting I can't think of the right perspective. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's interesting because I feel like almost everybody just automatically, spirituality is religion. And it's not, right? Religion is a thing and spirituality is a thing. And I think it gets blurred, especially in, I think with like religious people and like, at least my experience. So it's interesting. Makes me think. But awesome. So I'm gonna wrap this up so I can take my dog out before I have to start teaching. I'm just going to do one little take over this just to have a little fun with it. You guys, I appreciate you all, anyone that stopped by and people that watch this after. It's always funny to me that I get all the views after I've streamed, but I much love you guys. It's a blast. And just a reminder, if you need, Resistance HQ Publishing, they're taking care of the publication of my solo album. If you need cables, Limitless Cables, we'll give you 10% off. The code Zack10. Swiss Picks, and of course you can check out the podcast and all that stuff too. Let's give this one more go. What is this little? Oh, that little stupid noise. Get rid of that. Nice. Steve, it's my pleasure, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, it's awesome to meet you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope your music goes well. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'll send you a little message or whatever once I take a listen. But definitely appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll be back. I'm currently doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday streams, and this Tuesday my stream will be a little bit later, just because I have a student that he lives out of state, and so he's coming into town for like an intense training session. So got a little bit of extra time with him. So I'll be a little bit late, but yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Love you guys. Have a good one.